can get it up here to.
Yeah, so 30 years of being a Microsoft MVP.
Awesome.
Congratulations. And there was one question Amy was asking there earlier. Was it the same category, or was there a few different categories that you were?
Yes, and the answer to that is that there's been several different categories. When I first joined the MVP program, it was the there was really only one category, and that was Peropsys, which is personal operating systems. Then you had then it became DTS for desktop systems. It was about that time that I think the Office folks started getting their own categories as well. From there, it went to Windows Experience, which was the XP days, and was there for a while. Then, for a short period of time, I was part of a very small group called Printing and Imaging, and that was basically dealing with color printers, Pantones, things like that. The imaging part of it came out to be was the fax and scan module, which still exists in Windows 11 today, and basically works exactly the same way as it did in Windows 95, which is, and it's nice because if you have a dial-up fax modem, you can plug that into any modern Windows 11 PC and send and receive faxes with it. Same things for scanning if you have a scanner that you can attach to it that way. Okay, moving right along. Then we got into Windows Expert Consumer. That was when Windows 8 and 9 and that stuff wound up showing along. There was Windows Expert Consumer and Expert Commercial, I believe. I wound up in the consumer branch. That went on to become the Windows Insider program. And I was an MVP, and I didn't want to be a Windows Insider person, so I pulled in some favors. Actually, the folks that because I've been doing Outlook the entire time I've been in there. That's Outlook and Windows Messaging and Windows Mail and Outlook Express and all that other good stuff. So there were several times when the Outlook folks came to me and said, "Hey, why don't that's what you do? Why don't you be an Outlook MVP? We'd love to have you." And so when this Windows Insider program was going to be split off to become its own world, I asked the folks at Outlook, "Hey, I'm interested now. You want to have me?" And they said, "Oh yeah, sure." So I became an Outlook MVP, and that's now an M365 MVP. So I believe that's the last change so far.
Okay.
And here I still am. And I'm
30 years later. That's awesome.
I am humbled and entirely grateful. And again, I don't know why. To this day, all of you really smart MVP types let this dumb old bumpkin from Arizona hang around with you, but until you tell me no, I'm gonna be here.
Hal, I see you in the Outlook discussions, and you're anything but that. You're always giving feedback. You're always being supportive of others, whether it's women in M365 or new community members that you meet through shows like this. Really commendable.
For me, it's all about the community, and as I've said and say on the new MVP onboardings, it's just this is by far the finest group of experts, individuals, humanitarians, just people that are the way people are supposed to be to each other and with each other that exists on the planet. As far as I'm concerned, this is the finest group of humans to be found anywhere, and I am humbled and honored and deeply grateful to be part of it.
I agree. Hopefully OPM will be back. He's one of the newest, the latest July MVP honoree.
Who's that, Emmy?
Yeah, or no, sorry, Opie Emmy. He showed up for a second.
Oh,
but
yes.
he might
Yes.
be connecting his channels. You have to drop out of StreamYard to log in, and
Yeah.
then you have to come back in. So he might be doing that right now.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the time, Dan. I missed my time you got Scott Hanselman on to congratulate me, and I never turned up.
Well, it was hard to do a surprise and then tell you about the surprise or tell you about how important it was, right? But he came back at least one other time. I think he graced us maybe twice on a weekend. Yeah, he's great, and we've had a lot of just like Microsoft guests, and I don't think other than like at Ignite, I've seen Scott present. I saw him present at a user group here in June in Chicago, and just much more. I guess I'll just say open about his feelings. He told us, for instance, I wouldn't have even guessed this if I hadn't heard it from him, that he doesn't use AI to generate images. He may use AI to assist with images, but he doesn't believe to use it for generating images just because of the overhead it puts on like the servers and the cloud and the resources. One question I wanted to ask him was, what about like on a Surface device where some of that image generation can happen locally, where it's already a device I'm using, right? Hey, OPME.
Hi, Adlai. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Welcome, new MVP.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Great to get the MVP eventually. Congratulations.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, thank you
So
very much.
you just have to be waiting for the postman out to come with your crystal.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What an honor. What an honor.
So, yeah, you can probably see it better there now. Yeah, there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
There you
Better
go.
now, yeah.
So hopefully I'll get another one of these little things to.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So yeah, Carol, will we leave you start? So, since you're our guest speaker for this week,
Okay.
Amy, you got a new jacket.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's actually for the SharePoint 25 birthday. So they sent it.
Okay, cool.
I ordered it in February, but it just arrived now.
Oh, wow. February, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I'll kind of just jump right in. Thank you guys for welcoming me to this platform to speak. And this first call, I just wanted to give a little background about myself and have a nice tie-in towards the end of my speech. So my name's Carol Griffin. I've been in the technology field for about 30 years. I was with AT&T for about 25. And just a little background about myself as a technology leader and featured in the Microsoft Speakers Hub. My focus is on translating complex enterprise-grade agriculture and make it community-driven impact. And I always believed in technical leadership measured not by its legacy, but by the leverage. So my work centers around emerging technologies, aligning engineering with infrastructure and building exclusive communities. But within innovation, looking at the code is not just what really matters. It's the real world public experiences and good in making sure that technical landscape uh, goes along with our community so they're able to scale and learn alongside with us. And just two pain points that I always see, just in my background in the work that I've done so far, is scaling. Many enterprises, like to have layers and different strict guardrails, but sometimes they're unpredictable and insecure. And so, what my pain point is, and where I step in and help is just take those boundaries and make those guardrails really strict, so systems can perform. Engineers don't have to worry about operations, and leaders don't have to worry about those particular pain points. And I make sure delivery happens and make sure everything scales like it should and ought to. So really, I specialize in breaking down barriers and technical concepts, and making sure everything runs aligned within the processes and procedures, or make sure they're repeatable, good processes that can be streamlined. And so that's just a little basic about myself, but I can go on and on and on. But the real shift and what really matters in my conversation today, because at the end of the day, true technical leadership is about community building. And as we walk through the absolute peak of what it looks like, it is defined in the highest honors in tech, and which is one of those people that I think deserve one of the highest honors is Michael Brown. He is a true leader. He is the founder of the Juneteenth, um, celebration that we have in Chicago that I was just a part of. And I think it was a great masterclass of his exclusive leadership. And so he saw the structure, he saw there was a need, and he actively jumped in and created this community where everyone has an opportunity to sit at the table. Everyone has the opportunity to learn, to build their skills, and to grow. And I think that's just a brilliance of him. And I think that breaks down and make it wide open for the community just to walk in right behind him, and for the training that he has done on his platform, because he actually has his own company, and you can take training there. So I think Michael Brown represents a gold star of what true leadership means and embodies and giving back to the community. So that is my opening speech. It was to give a little bit about myself and actually to uplift Michael Brown for giving back to the community and actually being a pillar in his technical leadership in everything that he is doing and will do in the future. So that just sums it up. Anybody have any questions for me?
Any questions? That's good. Thank you very much, Carol.
All right, thank you.
Amy, have you got any new stuff for us to share? You're on mute.
Yeah, I can say some words about the co-work.
Yeah.
I don't have any. So first of all, the co-work, as you know, it was announced. I think it was on the 16th of June or something like that. That it first of all goes live, but secondly, there will be a new model of that you would need to pay for the usage of co-work. Co-work is a very powerful tool that is based on Anthropic, but Microsoft decided that from the 1st of July, everything will need to have a billing plan or subscription, and that means that people should think twice of what tool to use, maybe easier prompts to use the regular chat because they're talking about even a very basic prompt that would take something like 100 tokens, and that means that actually each token is 1 cent, so 100 tokens is $1. So that means that if there's actually all kinds of ways to demonstrate the cost, but what I wanted to say is organizations will need to actually decide if who to allow access at all, if at all, and if they do that, they will also need to define what is the budget. The budget can be on a tenant level or on an organization level or on a user mobile model, and I can maybe share something that the admins can do actually to decide who to show, because up until now it was part of the Frontier program, and now it's actually become public. But organizations that don't put this subscription or pay as you go, it will be blocked for them. But as you understand, the cost might be quite high, so organizations should take caution in who to give access and how. So let me just demonstrate some technical things. I want actually to show something that has nothing to do with work. And the functionality is, it's also through the admin center. You see this suggested? Suggested is actually the admins can set organization prompts that are relevant for all of the organization, and they will have a list of, they can enter a list of prompts that all of the people in the organization can use. And if you go here to the prompt lab, you will also see under the suggested the same prompts that the admin has used. So up until now, if you wanted, you needed to copy or share. Now the admin can do it. And so if I want actually to go to the admin, you probably need to be the global admin. And under, first of all, if you want to restrict who will have access to the co-work, then you will go under agents and all agents, and you will look for co-work. And here is the agent, and actually what I can do under users to decide if to give all of the users or maybe specific users only. This means that actually they will, whoever's not included, he will not see this Copilot menu at all. So it will disappear. So now you have chat and co-work. So if a person does not have access to the agent, he will not see this. By the way, if you want to know what is the cost for each prompt, then there's actually a shortcut. If I write what is the time, and this is a very basic thing, and what I can do is to do /cost. It's a skill that actually gives me the cost of each prompt in the co-work. So it tells me the local time, but if I do /costs, then actually it will tell me, you see skills cost, and you will see how much it will cost. So a very basic prompt is $1.75. Okay, so that's really expensive. Yeah,
That's expensive.
Now
Wow.
you can actually choose the model. Okay, so they added GPT-5. Up until now, it was only a Claude based. Now they entered GPT 5.5, but it actually takes more tokens than others. Um, but you also, this Sonnet 5 is actually very new. And as you can see here, even uh, there's also Claude Fable 5, which is in preview, but it you need some kind of additional things. But for very basic, and imagine you want it to create a presentation and a dashboard, that would cost you a lot now. So you need to consider, first of all, what to use. But in the admin center, so first of all, you can see you can block the agent, you can assign it to specific users or all users. And now, actually, what you can do, you will also have under Copilot, you will have cost management. So here is the place actually where you can assign a pay-as-you-go subscription. In this case, I have some kind of a subscription that I had. I recommend users to or organizations to create a specific subscription only for that. And as you can see here, I can assign um, uh, not to limit the spending or to limit it. And if I choose to limit it, actually, I can say what is my company's total monthly budget. So it could be, let's say, 10,000. So 10,000 might be something. Now, there's all kinds of calculators where you can check that, but you can also set it also on a monthly spending per user. So let's say 10,000 or 100,000, let's say, which is this is $1,000. But I will limit, let's say, 1,000 per user. Maybe I have many users, so this I can do. I can also set an alert, and then the people here will receive a mail, but they will also actually get um, I can set what is actually the time or the amount of credits where I want to receive the credit. In addition, you can notice here what I can do is, first of all, define here if I want the Copilot work, or I want also um, to put the work you API, which is something also that costs money. I would not. I would remove auto include services because this might a new service comes out, then I may be able to need to pay for that. But in addition to that, so let's say I would remove this and remove this. What I can also do is create different policies. Um, let's say this one is by default for all users, yes. But I can maybe say I can create, let's say, uh, Active, Active Directory group, which I can say maybe management will have um, this budget, and maybe regular users will have a different budget, and in future there will be also specific users that I can do that. So there's lots of possibilities, and at the end there will be a button here to activate, and once you do that, it will be available for users to activate the cowork. My message here is actually companies should think carefully how to use it. It can be very great tool, but it also can have costs. And by the way, here in the Copilot Cowork, you should see here some cost usage. Why is it not working? But if up until now it was free, we used it, and people need to think twice. So yeah, here's the usage. So the internet is quite weak here, but this is what you can see. So thank you very much, and yeah, back to you.
Thanks, Amy, for pointing that out. Like that little prompt that you put up there was very short, and they were charging very expensive. So if you were to make some graphic or a PowerPoint slide or whatever, it probably cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
But listen, if it saves you time and your company gives you the budget, and then because easily if you don't control it, it can cost you $200. So you need to compare the pros and cons, and maybe start. By the way, there's larger pack. There's two types of. There's a pay-as-you-go, where you can limit it with a budget, or there's what's called P3, where you buy like a prepaid. So you buy a big bank of hours or tokens, and then the larger the token prepaid, then the price per token is cheaper. But yeah. So
Yeah,
Microsoft is changing the model of working.
So I presume all the rest will kind of follow suit. You know, the ROI, return of investment. You know, because there's billions of dollars after going into developing all this stuff, so there need to be a payback on it, like so.
Yeah, and as you can run these things locally, then some of those data center costs, are either negated or it's just using the NPU on the Surface device or on a Snapdragon, the newly announced NVIDIA Surface Ultra, and the other devices that CPU, GPU, NPU. I think it's called unified memory.
Yeah, but CoWork works on the cloud, okay?
Right.
Compared to CoWork Cloud, which works on your local files, then on the cloud means that if you run something and you close your computer, it continues to work, so it doesn't, you're not affected.
Yeah,
I think this is something
go to
that's
sleep,
called.
turn off your computer, right?
I think Microsoft also said there's a new if you have Copilot chat and CoWork, then there will be like instead of a Copilot, there will be a autopilot, and it's a new what's it called? I forgot the name of it, but it will actually run, I think, on your local device. I forgot the name, but let's look for new autopilot Microsoft. Yeah. So yeah, there was an announcement for that. Just looking. Okay, but yeah, thank you. Back to you, Frank.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. That's interesting. Note the co-work. I see it popped up in my tenant there as well, so I have it. Because we have the tenant as being MVPs, is there any restriction in there, or do we have to pay extra, or do you know if we got credits or?
I don't know if they've finalized that, Frank. I know we had access to it before July when they started charging, but I'm not sure what the latest is from a standpoint of July going forward. I'm sure they're working on it. I think I saw a note on that. They're considering how to make it available. The first way they gave us Copilot access was through a sandbox. So we had like a shared environment with 299 other MVPs early on. And then, eventually they figured out how to make it available to us. So I would imagine they're considering their options.
Okay, so like you're talking about over 3,300 MVPs in the world. Is that, am I right there?
There's over 3,000. I think it's around 4,000 now.
4,000.
Yeah. There's a couple analytics places, and I think if you go to the MVP site and you search for no filters other than MVP, you can figure out how many pages of results there are to estimate.
I think there's a BI report that one of the MVPs made. That you can
hold and honored or something. Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, so you can filter and see by country or by category or stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so I put this thing into co-work there. So obviously it is working for us. And I asked it, what is the cost of co-work? So it's kind of telling us a fixed seat, fixed predictable. Co-work requires an M365 Copilot license for each user.
You bet.
The same seat listed at around $30 per user per month. That powers Copilot Chat and Copilot Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams. There's no co-work only plan. You need this license first. Okay, so we kind of know that you have to have a license for Copilot to get the co-work. And then, as Amy said there, you got your pay-as-you-go, and you got
prepaid,
your prepaid, yeah. So the P3, is that a P3?
Yes.
Right. So you have to have a P3 license before you can get a prepaid one. And then they have a rough cost there. Light could be 100, 300 credits. So it looks like 100 credits is $1.
Yeah, it's a cent per token. Yeah.
Yeah. So the medium one then is 400 to 700 and $4, $7. And the heavy
Again,
one,
it depends. It depends on the model. It depends on the complexity, and it depends on So I one of the functions of co-work is also scheduling. So you need to take in consideration if you're going to schedule to run every day, then it's not a one-time thing. So think twice if you schedule things.
yeah, if you schedule a prompt in it to,
And it will run for now for the next year.
yeah. It's like back a few years ago when I was first doing the stuff in Azure, and you go in and you spin up a VM, and if you forget about it, the VM is running, and your dollars are burning away in the background. So,
But
so
but Frank, I
Yeah.
think it's not available yet in the EU and in the UK. Is that correct?
No.
It's not allowed.
no, I have it here, and I'm in Ireland. I'm in the EU.
Yeah, but you have it on your sandbox. Probably, I think it's. I'm not sure if it's still allowed by the EU and UK to have the Anthropic available or activated. So that's another thing that.
Yeah, I think I did hear something about that, but I think
there's risks that you have to- yeah.
Technically, you can
I think
do
there's
it,
risk
but I
you
think
have
for companies that need to have the regulations, then I think it's still not allowed to activate it. But
Yeah, and I see in America there, they just released some of the Anthropic models that were on hold. Did you see much around that, Dan?
I haven't seen much around that specifically. I've been chasing all sorts of information about new Teams features for the meetings this past week. So between a live event and chasing Teams features and functionality that was supposed to be announced in August, but has been delayed till I think the new update was September. We were looking for information for that for the day job, so I was doing a lot of research on that.
Yeah, and
I want to mention Thurman that I nominated to the MVP, and he just got awarded. So I think I'm happy for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm working a whole week since the 1st of July with a smile on my face. Just you know.
Yeah, and OPME's here too.
Yeah, congratulations.
And Nisicon was in the comments, I know.
How long did it take?
Yeah,
When were you nominated? What month?
I think I got nominated. I think it took like 3 months. Yeah, they're about to review it. It's 90 days review stuff. Yeah, yeah.
That's
so,
fast.
and I think I didn't even get up to 25 entries because most of my entries, I think I did were like 15. I think that I spoke to Frank and I used up to 15 and he guided me saying, yeah, you can. And that was all I got. I said, okay, let me just give it a try. So I think one part of my was the one they gave me on Teams. I think based on one of my Teams video has about like 1,005 view on the. I think that was one of the one I did on the show. One of the videos. I think that was why I believe they gave me M365 and Teams. So yeah, it was good.
Did you get it in 2 categories?
Yeah. So I got M365 and then Microsoft Teams. They gave me 2.
Very good.
Yeah, you've done a ton with from an admin perspective, from a user perspective, from a Teams perspective. We did that avatar video probably 2 or 3 years ago. You know, you've done a lot of contribution. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I was telling you the story about they give you the 24, kind of fill out 24 contributions. And before the time ran out, I nearly forgot about the 45 days, and I went in to check on that particular evening it was around 7 p.m.
Mhm.
and it was going to expire 12 p.m. that night. So I had 5 hours to fill out the 24,
Wow.
but I only reached 19. So I
Yeah.
submitted the 19 and yeah, I still got it.
Yeah. Same here. I just submitted that 15. I think 15 or 16 thereabouts.
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe
But I
that's
think,
yeah.
yeah, I think it's more about the weight of them, how good they are,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, so I kind of tell people like I'm on here every week. Dan is on here. Hal is here. So we're on here 50 weeks of the year for an hour.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean that's a lot of time,
Yeah.
and plus organizing to have speakers come on, um, outside of doing the 1 hour, there's a lot of admin stuff going on in the background as well. Whereas I was running session eyes to call for speakers, and you have to kind of organize them, the dates and when they're going to come on and what topic they're going to talk about. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. So outside that 50 hours, you could, that's a good, and they only allow you to put that in for one of those 24 is the Azure and AI show. Like, so you
Yeah.
got to do all that work, and then you have to find more. Then
Yeah. Yeah. I was even surprised how come that video hits close to one something. I was like, and even that was what we did here on the show on Teams chat deleted where you can use poll views to get. Yeah. Yeah.
it got over 1,000 hits, was it?
Yeah. I got almost 1,005 hits there, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and your YouTube channel's what, like 3,000 something, 4,000? It's
Yeah. I think I got 4,000. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that counts too. Like they're looking
Mhm.
at where you're showing up. Scott Hanselman, I think that was his point, Frank, when he came on the day you were there, that you played. Was that last week?
Yeah,
Or the
that
week
was
before?
a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, just showing up for a few people is just as important sometimes as showing up for a lot. Carol and I were at the Juneteenth conference both Friday and Saturday in Chicago that Michael Brown ran. And Carol, I think many of the speakers, especially in the morning, were concerned about like, hey, where's the audience? But the right people were in that room both days, from my perspective.
Yeah, that was a great day.
Yeah.
I was grand. I was delighted you joined us to give us insight, and great to hear the background behind it as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the other news out this week is the MCT thing. Do you see that, Dan?
I saw something about the MCT, but I didn't get a chance to totally intake it.
If you want
So it's
to
is it about the requirements?
So if somebody wants to become a new MCT, they have to do a course now, and it costs something like $1,650.
Wow.
3-day course.
Ouch.
Yeah, and plus then you'd have to have, we'd say if you wanted to teach the AB730 or the AB731, you have to have that certification as well. Whereas before, MCTs could have an associate one or an expert one in whatever category they wanted.
And I think they also announced so I'm an alumni now.
Yeah.
I think there's like a way that I can reinstate with
Yeah.
Like a $300, maybe like refresh or something.
Refresh. Yeah.
And then that's on top of the renewal fee. But for the time being, I'm not using my MCT actively, so I'm glad that they don't charge you for the alumni. I think the alumni used to be $75 a year, which wasn't that much, but it's still nice that they allow you to become an alumni without like paying for the alumni, because over the years that can add up. If you're an alumni for 10 years, that's $750.
Yeah, I think my renewal now is about like £250 now to renew.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if you're taking classes, or if it's something you're actively using somewhere for community or college or something else, it's that's totally worth it. It used to be $800 a year.
Yeah, it's expensive now.
It was still a reasonable amount per year, but it was every single year. And if you had an employer that paid for it,
Yeah.
that was different.
Yeah, they had a thing then. If you were in MCT before and you didn't renew, you can do refresher then as well. You don't have to become an alumni.
Yeah.
And the thing then, for you have to have teach 6 classes. They don't all have to be Microsoft classes. You can actually do custom ones as well. And they don't have to be kind of public, but the only thing is that you have to track them on the MTM website.
Yeah, Metrics That Matter is something I've had for, I started on that platform. So that's how I would get my evals and my feedback and everything else. But sometime along the way, I lost access to easily figure out the reports. And, at the end of the day, I had a couple training companies that had you do an eval after the first day of a multi-day class. And that was way more valuable than waiting till the end. Because if you had that person that just stewed on like something they didn't like that they didn't tell you, you had no time to change it if they fill out an eval at the end. But if they fill out an eval after the first day and say, I wish there were more practical examples, or, the instructor gives us way too many breaks, or, not enough breaks, you'd have that feedback to act on, as opposed to after the fact when, I can't adjust break times or frequency or anything else at the end of a class. I can only do the next class, right?
Yes. So on that point there, Dan, I know I've got my MCT shirt from the summit.
Cool.
You can see that one.
Yeah.
Sarajevo.
Wow, that's good.
That's awesome.
So, one of the topics, like just to add on to your piece there about the feedback and that, is that they were kind of talking about, do some instructors just use all slides, and some say they just use all slides and wherever like that, and then other instructors, trainers would say people would get bored and whatever. So what they do is they do some slides, then they do some practical stuff, like show them how to spin up a storage account or spin up a VM or something like that. And that gets people more active, and they're not as fatigued at the end of the day. Yeah.
That's always one of the tricks, is figuring out, especially in a multi-day class, how to keep people engaged, and giving them tasks besides the labs that typically come up. In a multi-day class, that's the other thing, is figuring out like the labs. And in a virtual classroom, one of the things I used to do was just ask if people wanted to get the certification, and then I'd make that optional at the end of each day, or like extend it over lunch. That way, if you didn't want to do the certification, when I'm going to talk about it. If you were interested or just wanted to stay on, you could stay on. If you weren't interested, you could finish your labs and call it a day. So there's all these tricks you learn over time on how to schedule things and how to communicate things ahead of time, so that your students aren't like, what are we going to talk about next? I have an appointment at 2:30. Some students were very proactive about, hey, I have to leave early. It's not you, it's something I had scheduled before the class. And then other students would just disappear, and you don't know if they had a call for work or, an emergency came up. There's all sorts of reasons people would leave even physical classrooms back in the day.
Yeah, and what was the other big thing then that was topic was virtual classes that a lot of people wouldn't turn on their cameras, and the trainers they're talking to a blank screen with nobody on the screen. So yeah, a lot of the trainers did kind of comment on that, how in person was way better than online because you're interacting with humans. Like,
yeah, well, and if Carol and I hadn't met in person, this would feel much more, maybe better than like just messaging back and forth or talking on a phone call or audio. But having met in person, having done some meals and toured the city and spent some time together, that relationship builds so much faster than just online with an hour or two meeting here and there kind of thing.
You're on mute, Carol.
I was agreeing with Dan. I totally agree. It's always great to meet someone in person. I think you build a greater rapport and a relationship with a person versus meeting someone online, on Zoom calls, which is great. But you meeting someone in person, you actually get a more in depth of that person on, how well they work, and get to know them a little bit as a person and as a colleague.
Frank, had you met Peter Lurie by any chance? He's an MCT.
No.
I think he's only been to the North American Summit. I don't think he's been to the Europe Summit, but he's battling lymphoma and has I think I'll send you the message that he put out on LinkedIn. I think it was July 1st. About his situation. But one thing that he wrote on his Caring Bridge was that post on LinkedIn, primarily to the training community, but he worked for Microsoft, so it might have been a combination of trainers, the Microsoft community, and customers or whoever else saw it. It went viral, just a post from somebody that I've met a few times because I worked with him when I was at Microsoft, and then we've run into each other at a couple MCT events. But he reached out to me personally just to, because the LinkedIn post didn't reach my my feed in a timely fashion. So he sent me like a message on LinkedIn saying, hey, I've got an update. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. And I was really grateful that he brought that to my attention. Jessica, welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm on the road trying to drive home.
Oh no. Thanks for joining. Congrats.
Thank you, and thank you, Danre, everyone.
So you got the MVP as well, did you? Niskan. Did he get the MVP? Did he get the MVP, Dan?
Yeah,
Oh,
we got it on the first.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think he got the MVP too. Likewise.
Yeah. So Ami had somebody that he nominated, Thurman Trotman. I nominated Niskan, and then Opiemi. I'm not sure. I don't recall your nominee this time.
No.
Or nominator.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there's only like one person that gets credit for that, But for most MVPs, like for me, I had at least 3 people nominate me because I was nominated 3 times before I became an MVP. And those are just the people that on paper like clicked the, you know, the submission form, if you will. And then there were all sorts of people to credit, both before I became an MVP and then once I was awarded. And yeah, it's interesting that, you know, they only allow one person. It's not like a voting. Somebody had told me they were nominated by multiple people, so I don't know if it's changed over time. Maybe they only allowed one nomination at one point.
Yeah. But do you know, like, if you need to nominate someone, like, is there like a restriction to number of people you can nominate in a year?
No.
I'm not aware of any.
No restrictions.
Yeah.
You can nominate as many people as you want. It's kind of what I've started thinking about doing is all of the wonderful people that took the VRP there at Microsoft. Some genuinely insanely brilliant people. I'm staying interested, ready to nominate any and all for MVP.
Yeah.
Because
I found that
intelligence shouldn't be wasted.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it's kind of hard to get people to nominate.
And
You know?
the funny thing, if it is at least one of them, Ben Shore. He wasn't part of the VRP. He was one of the earlier ones, and it's like, well, yeah, but not right now. So I don't know how many of them or what their feelings might be on the subject. Would be,
Yeah.
there sure are some. And the thing of it is a bunch of these people were MVPs before they became FTEs.
Yeah. Michael Brown's one of them. Michael Brown was.
Well, Patricia Eddy, Ben Shore. There's half a dozen others that I know of personally.
Yeah. There's tons of people that that's why they give up their MVP, right? Like you see, what's the gentleman's name? The really long Peter. I'm totally spacing on his last name. What was that?
Doring?
No, he's from England. I could go find the book that he wrote if it doesn't come to me.
Yeah.
Trying to remember his last name. It's totally blanking on his last name right now.
Do you know Keith A. Powell, Dan?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I reviewed his book.
Yeah, he's we're trying to find a time to get together in Chicago. And Keith Powell and I worked together in Chicago for years. Peter Rising is the person I'm thinking of.
That's it.
Now we can see, fine. Now using Microsoft 365 Copilot. Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
that's good.
A lot of people like him. He wrote like 2 or 3 additions to the Microsoft Teams admin course. He let me participate on I think it was the V2 as a technical editor, which was super nice. You know, like just being able to give him feedback, and then he took the feedback that I had. Like, he had a lot of the device admin screens, but they were just the screen with, no devices. And I was like, I don't have a lot of devices, but I have some screenshots I could send you with like a phone, a phone number added so that, the screen of a phone device has like a phone number displayed. And so in the second edition, my phone number and screenshot is included in the book. That's the first time I was published, if you will. But Peter was kind enough to like not only take the feedback, but just, hey, thanks for the work, thanks for the screenshots, and included a few of them.
Yeah, so it was great chat this week. We're up
Yeah.
on the hour.
And Hall, that's quite great. 30 years MVP. That was amazing. Wow, 30 years. Wow.
Did you show him your disc there again, Hal?
Yes,
30-year
I
disc.
think
Oh, sure.
I need to invite you to one of my show one of these days. Come and give us the insight on
Have a look.
the journey so far. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
amazing.
30 years. Wow, that's quite amazing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Seems to do well if you put it like down by your shirt, Hal.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
pull it
yeah,
in,
cool.
or you can make it bigger that way, and it should stay focused because it thinks it's
Yeah.
part of your shirt. Or
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah,
Ah,
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
We have a few years to
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
30 years journey is not easy. It's not a joke.
I don't even have a blue disc yet. I have to get to 5.
Wow.
wow.
That's good.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Carol, the book Peter wrote is I'll send you a link to it. It's
Okay.
it's a Microsoft Teams admin guide, and there's like 2 editions, and I think he wrote a 3rd edition that was like just study questions for the exam.
Okay.
But that's the first book that I ended up on a couple pages of. I'll find the posts about it.
There's the other book.
Using Microsoft 365 Copilot AI. Okay.
Yeah, it was something about mastering Microsoft Teams admin. I think it had a really long title. I'll find it. It's MS 700 is the course, and it's by PACT, PACKT. I think is how you spell PACT. The
Okay.
company that published it.
Yeah, so I'm going to end the live recording because we're gone over the hour. Thanks everybody for joining this week's Azure and AI show.
Always a pleasure.
Again, congratulations
Always
to
a pleasure to be
our
here.
new MVPs who got their awards this week.
And thank you for
congratulations.
having me as a speaker. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Carol.
being here.
Nice seeing you
Thanks,
today.
Carol.
Thank you.
Okay. See you again next week, guys.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Mm.